Okay, this is a video showing the fitting of a hearing aid. Note the equipment in front of that young man there is the verification system. Probe microphone measures, or real ear measures as we call it, where the audiologist will assess whether the hearing aid is putting sufficient output to the tympanic membrane, to the ear system. So this is at the Dallas Ear Institute. This is probably, assuming he's a teenager or preteen, and she's going to go through some of the processes that we go through when we fit amplification.
Already had a hearing aid before, so we're just going to go ahead and we're going to review some of the things, how to take care of it, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to fit it to your ear. You're going to let me know how it sounds. How long was it that you haven't been wearing the hearing aid for? Like a year? Okay, so maybe the reason why I'm asking is because it might sound a little bit loud today. I don't want it to be uncomfortable, but just like a little bit loud. But then over a couple of days, then I think it's going to sound a little bit more normal and natural. Normally, my teens say that it takes about 4 to 7 days. So, and your own voice might also sound a little bit different too. And then I'm going to probably have Dad talk to you just a little bit, because my voice isn't a voice that you hear all the time, but his is. So do you remember for your old hearing aid battery what color it was? Was it orange or was it brown? Brown. Okay, perfect. So this color brown is the same one that you have, and that's the size 312 battery. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to send you home with a pack today, and then you can get those any CVS, Walgreens, Walmart, online, anything like that. Okay? And then you remember to keep the sticker on the battery until you're ready to use it. So then that way it'll be nice and fresh. And then when you remove it, you're going to activate the battery. Okay. Also, the batteries need to be kept in a safe place away from small children and animals, because if it's swallowed, then that can be toxic. We'll have anybody call poison control if they ever swallow the battery. Okay. All right. So these are all things that you already know. You could probably do the orientation. All right. So, in the box here, so some of the things that you need and some of them you don't. Okay. So, one of the things I think last time you had an ear mold, right? So this one's a little bit more for older patients, teens and that sort of thing. So right now the hearing aid will pick up the sound at the microphone right there, and then it will amplify the sound, and then the sound is actually sent from this wire. This is the speaker, so the sound will come out of here, and this is called a wax trap. So this is actually going to be sitting in your ear. So this will just be something that will protect the electronics on the inside from any wax or moisture or anything like that. So I'm going to have you change that like once a month or so. So I'm just going to go over how to do that real quick. Okay. So, yep. So this right here is that little, that's called a wax trap. It's that little white piece. Okay.
Uses that little clear tube.
So there's this wire right there, and then I'm going to put a little clear dome on the end. It's going to be one of those. I'm not sure what size it's going to be, so we're going to put that there. But this little white, it's called a wax trap, is just going to protect from anything getting on the inside to these electronics right there. So about once a month, I'm going to go ahead and have you guys swap these out. Okay. So there's like the white replacement is on that end, and then there's like an empty one right there. So you're going to go ahead and you're going to stick it straight in and pull it out. And then you're going to go ahead and you're going to place that white one, and you're going to go straight in and pull it out.
Oh, okay.
You got that? All right. Yep. So I'll go ahead and we'll put this one away. Any questions about that? No. And there's also like a little picture. I think that it's pretty self-explanatory, but just in case. Okay. So this is your case. This can be something for a pocket, maybe, or a gym bag or something like that. Where I like the hearing aid to be stored every night is one of these. Okay. So this is a nice screw top. So then that way small children and animals can't bite their way in here. And the same thing for this too. And what I like to do is right here. This is a desiccant. So do you eat beef jerky?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So you know how there's like a little pack that absorbs the moisture in there? So that's exactly what this thing does. It's going to absorb the moisture. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to have you keep this in the bottom. And you see how that's a nice yellow color?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So when it turns white or whitish, go ahead and toss it and then go ahead and pull out the other one.
Yes,
This should
ma'am.
last you about 3 months or so. All right. You can also get more of those online, Amazon, that sort of thing. All right. It's called a desiccant or like a hearing aid dryer. You can also buy ones that are reusable that you put like in the oven or in the microwave to get them to reactivate.
Yes,
So these you can toss or you can use the other ones too. So up to you. Toss that.
Easy.
Yeah, I think like they're pretty inexpensive. I would say like you can maybe $10 for like a year supply, something like that.
Okay.
So I think it's pretty good. So every night hearing aid can be in here. I also just like this other one too, for other storage. So try not to put the hearing aid in a pocket or a zipper because that's normally when it's lost.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So this is for you. So fortunately also Kelsey for the most part has a normal hearing right ear. So if you feel like it's not sounding right at your left ear, you can bring it over to your right ear. But because your right ear isn't 100% in the normal range, you can also have a parent go ahead and listen to the hearing aid. So what you go ahead and do is you can go ahead and just place the end of the hearing aid into the tube, and then you're going to go ahead and shut the battery door and listen to it. So when I'm done programming it today, then you'll be able to hear, okay, this is what it's supposed to sound like. When it's fully programmed, it's ready to go. So then that way, exactly. So then like if it gets dropped into the cereal bowl and we're not sure if it still sounds good, then you can go ahead and you can take a listen.
Okay.
Okay, great.
That's cool.
Yeah, love it. Yeah, exactly. So, as long as you don't have any hearing loss, right? So, you can go ahead and take off that sticker. And then, did you have a battery tester with your old
Yes, ma'am.
hearing aid? Yeah. Okay. So, with that, the hearing aid has a plus side, that's the smooth side, or a bumpy side, the negative side. So I just say smooth side and bumpy side. So just go ahead and you're going to put the smooth side facing up, and then you're going to push up. And you see how when you go up that the black line goes all the way to the top?
Yes, ma'am.
Normally when the line goes to the top of the X, normally it's about done. So if you want to go ahead and try that out, make sure that you feel good about that. Yep,
Yes, ma'am.
solid. Okay. This is a little cloth that you can go ahead and, if you ever put your hair is short, but if you ever use any hair product, I want you to go ahead and use your hair product first and then put your hearing aids on.
Yes,
Okay. All right. And then this can just be a little soft cloth to wipe it down.
Yes, ma'am.
And then this is just a little wax loop. So, the other thing, if you're not going to necessarily change it, first you want to go ahead and see, oh, can I just get a little bit of wax out? You can go ahead and try to use that first.
Look here.
Oh, yeah. Little care kit. This, I think, is just another soft cloth in here. Yeah. So this is another soft cloth. And then another wax loop. And then there's this little brush that sometimes you can either wipe the microphone down or you can also give it a little brush if you have any debris on there.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then this also has a magnet on the end so you can pick up your battery with it.
Yes, ma'am.
So handy. Okay. So that's about it.
Okay, so that give you some information about the hearing aid orientation process. That's usually one of the first things we do before we put the hearing aid in the ear and do the programming. I'm going to find some programming examples for other videos.